macadam driveway there.
I understand, and fine. What I'm gonna say is, I think you're gonna have to at least designate, paint out, mark and sign a handicap space that will satisfy the accessibility requirements to get a handicapped person from that parking space into your building.
I think that's very, very possible. I mean, it is all macadam between the two buildings that are not yet completed. And there's definitely sufficient of space there for a car and pulling access. And it's right off the walkway for the handicap accessibility to the back of the building. So I don't see that as being an issue, as a temporary.
So where are you gonna put, if you have 4 rooms, and you're gonna, right now you don't have, the innkeeper's thing isn't done yet.
No,
So
we're waiting on the plan approval on that.
where are you gonna park your guests?
Well, what I'm saying is between the
Is there enough room for 4
there is enough room
cars?
for 4 cars there,
Yeah.
definitely. And turning access to get out.
That's why I said if we can give you that plan that shows where the parking, shows where the handicap parking is, shows what kind of surface it is, and that will suffice until we do the actual construction, which they want to start immediately, and hopefully, this is only gonna be a short temporary time that this could be open.
So, and this is something else that I brought up that I printed off the UCC Pennsylvania Code. Temporary certificates of occupancy and accessibility can be issued by the code enforcer. In compliance with the Pennsylvania Construction Code Act, at 34 PA Code, which explains the code, allows for the issuance of temporary certificates of occupancy, as long as certain conditions are met. These provisions took effect on 12/31/6. Building code officials may issue temporary certificates of occupancy, even if not all accessibility requirements have been satisfied, as long as the building can be occupied safely. And the certificate contains a date certain by which the accessibility and any other UCC requirements must be satisfied. So the agreement has to be made between us and the township that we say, this going out this far, these final improvements will be satisfied. And I did speak to L&I about that, and they did say that the code enforcer does have the option to do that as long as there's an agreement.
He can
In
do
place.
it, he has done a temporary for somewhere else, not a commercial, but for home. It has been issued, not accessible issues.
The reason I said plan, I thought you wanted something that you had in your hands that said you have to have this done or you can't open, even as a temporary opening. That way, you know, and we know
Well,
that.
not only that, it would be a commitment on your end. Here's the plan, here's what we're doing, it's signed.
Yeah.
You know, and you plan on doing this for 12 months, 6 months, a year, you know, or,
I'm hoping that if
I'm just looking at this, Bruce, going, all right, so you have the inn and you have the banquet facility. Again, I know probably the large part of the parking lot is for the banquet facility. But when it comes to E&S controls or other things, what part of that pertains to the inn and what part pertains to the banquet facility? Because when they say we want to open the banquet facility first, I'm sorry, the inn first and the banquet facility the second one, okay, but you have to have the parts that pertain to the inn first completed. And I'm just not sure if you can segregate them. And maybe you can, Larry, but, and submit it to us.
Well, I forget what the requirement was. I'm not sure if it shows here on this plan. Now, it does say in required, 1 space per guest unit plus 1 space per employee. And at this point in time, there were 8 guest units. Now, you're saying right now there's only 4.
There's currently 4 because the outbuilding plans are with Carl right now
And
for,
so there would, eventually there will be a total of 8 guest units or units. A combination of guest units and/or
the
proposed innkeeper suite.
Correct.
With the innkeeper suite, there's gonna be 7 plus the innkeeper suite is 1 for a total of 8.
Correct.
And basically your parking calculations say that you need 1 per guest unit and 1 space per employee. And then down there it said 1 times 8 plus 1 times 1 is 9 spaces. but now you're only at 4, so it would be, you would need 5 spaces for an employee possibly, and for the four units. So you need 4 spaces. Probably one of them could be a handicap space. And if you're going to paint out a spot on the existing driveway, as long as it meets the accessibility requirements for slope and space around it so people can get out if they're in a wheelchair or something like that, and maneuver to the accessibility route to get in your building,
Yeah, I think
that's all we'd be looking at. But what eventually, when you need the 16 parking spaces over on the west side and when you need your total build out, you still don't have to pave the parking lot per the waiver that was granted, but you're still going to need to pave those handicap spaces that are then shown
Correct.
on what would be then the approved plan. So, as far as, I don't, eventually they're gonna need the agreement, the security will have to be posted
Right.
for the improvements for the whole build out, because they haven't asked for phasing,
Right.
but, if they get their certificate of occupancy and temporary certificate of occupancy and meet the accessibility or
Yep.
meet it to the satisfaction of the code official, that would be fine, I would think.
I would think so. When do you plan on opening the inn?
Year and a half ago.
Yeah, when now, though?
Seriously?
Yeah.
We're hoping to be finished with the requirements within the month. We had to order a special sprinkler pump, which had to be built. So that's, what, 4 weeks out?
It's always probably 4 weeks out.
I'm just looking, so if we have this all at the May meeting, assuming we do, and the supervisors approve it, and they post their security and that kind of stuff, I don't see any reason. I just don't know if that's all gonna be done, or...
Well,
So have all these
we
other
can't,
things,
That's our.
the big
Yeah,
hooker was anticipation at the March meeting, which was on March 9th, that within a week or 2 weeks, they'd have their HOP permit,
I know.
and now PennDOT is throwing in more curves.
I'm just saying, from our end,
So,
we can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, if we get the, like I say, a lot of this is just basically, there's only one thing that, most of it's signatures and
Yeah.
so were
associated paperwork.
the other items like the correcting the binder course thickness? were
Yep,
they
that's
done?
all
That's
done.
all done.
I went through
Everything
all
was
the
done?
minutes, I went through everything.
Okay.
It's all on this plan, all marked up, all that other stuff is all taken care of.
Okay. Well, that's a blessing.
Everything else is all taken care of. The elevation differences at the road from the ENS to the PCSM and,
The slope of the,
yep, all that stuff, everything is on there. Everything is on there.
And you don't see any reason why we couldn't do conditional approval?
No, absolutely not.
Both?
on what? Are we?
Well,
the whole thing?
you don't end up, the township basically approves the stormwater management. That's why the letter on the stormwater is addressed to
Board.
the secretary of the township, and that's just board approval of the stormwater. But as far as the land development plan, yeah,
I know,
I
but
think
it can be conditioned on,
your biggest thing, if you give us approval tonight, is to write all the conditions the way we talked about tonight, so that they're in a letter somewhere, and one of those,
Conditions being met.
yeah. Final approval on,
basically it's all the conditions that are stated in his 2
well, no,
letters.
I'm gonna say,
Or not, in the one letter.
in the one letter, I'm gonna say 1,
The one that says land
3,
development.
Yep,
1, 3,
right.
1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9.
Can we get a copy of that letter?
I'll get- yeah.
You guys do?
Yeah.
I did email it to you, and I didn't get the thing that it didn't go through.
I didn't really look for my email after like 2
Okay.
o'clock, 3 o'clock, so
Okay.
it's probably there, and I can email it to you.
So the board would, the supervisors would approve the stormwater at the main meeting contingent on all the conditions.
Well, that those articles being, those items, I think, the items, what were they?
Well, these are-
2, 3, and 4 are
Right.
included in that O and M, in the O and M agreement, number 1.
Well, 2 and 3 are included, and 4 is the item that's placed on the plan.
Right,
Yeah.
the signature on the plan, right.
Right.
Really, there's nothing to be added to the plan other than those, a couple of those soil probes and that certification block. And then we would just need,
And the disclaimer.
yeah, those disclaimers, yeah. Yeah. And that's basically, I think, sheet 2, 3, and 4. The
Well,
rest,
When we get to the final developers agreement, you're gonna put that together.
Yes.
I didn't know if we were gonna have to hire him. So, if you do it, that's fine.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I have a standard format.
Okay. I mean, it's up to us to get all that taken care of as quick as possible, so we can get back to, I would assume this is a recommendation tonight by the planning commission to the supervisors based on those conditions, and we can't go to the supervisors until those conditions are met. Okay. And they're gonna kill me if I don't work overtime.
no,
Oh, they can kill them if they want, I don't care.
well, yeah, but no, what I'm saying is that the supervisors can also condition it.
Yep.
And then as soon as you meet the conditions, the plans get signed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in other words, if they give conditional approval at their May meeting, and you have one condition, let's say you don't have your HOP permit. The minute the HOP permit comes in,
Then we don't have to.
the plans are signed and they're recorded.
Then we go to one meeting, and then all we do is submit the stuff that they need.
Right.
Yeah, if there's, like I say, if the HOP is the outstanding thing, or if the
Might tell you
developer's
how
agreement
many-
isn't quite finalized,
Okay,
it won't take another meeting.
that's even better.
And you'll have to ask Deanna for the correct number of copies of signed plans, so that you could,
Generally, we go with recording 7, but that's based on how many you're going to want back. If you want one, if you want one, you wanna keep one, you know, then it,
Is it in the
We'll get to that when we
ordinance?
get
You know, are
to
they
it.
milers, or they, what?
we need one
yeah,
Mylar,
one Mylar.
and then you need 2 to record. The county planning commission is probably gonna, when you go to get the final plan stamped by the county planning commission, they'll probably keep a copy. So you need 3 there. The planning commission will keep 1 in their file, right?
Township keeps 2.
And the township keeps 2.
That's the fun.
That's 5.
Yep.
5 plus a Mylar, then however many you want. If you want 1 or 2,
Most times it ends up with 7,
Yeah.
but if you want extras or, because I would think,
well, once he has 1 copy,
Yeah.
once he has 1 copy that's been recorded, or with signatures on it,
And
he has the
can
ability,
copy
he
it.
has the ability to make as many copies as he wants.
And you record, you guys
I do.
physically go, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we don't run into delay on June 4th.
Well,
We got
Another
stuck
bridge
in,
will be built by then.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because we don't really have final approval from the county until we get all that. They gave us a conditional approval.
It does have to go back to them.
Yeah,
It has to go to
them.
the review, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have to go to, at least submit, I'm not sure we have to go
No,
to a meeting.
you won't have to submit to a meeting.
No,
Yeah.
no, you just have to, that's what I'm
You
saying.
just have to take it to the office and
They sign it
then
that they reviewed it.
Kathy in the office will call Ivan in and he'll come in and stamp them.
Okay.
It won't go through a meeting at the county.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've already
Yeah.
had their meeting.
Yeah, they already had their meeting.
Okay, so motion to recommend to the Board of Supervisors to grant conditional approval to the Loft of Birchwell's final, land development plan, condition on number 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 of the Township Engineers, April 14th, final plan review letter.
Perfect.
All right?
Sounds good. Is that in the form of a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Do you have that motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second from Dean, and all in favor, if you would consent by saying aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And again, Bruce, I'm sorry. I was in a rush to get something out.
You forget
I don't think you will.
He's smiling. Okay. That's it. Good.
Okay,
Thank you.
board meeting is May 4th.
May 4th?
6 o'clock now, instead of 5.
Okay, didn't
Yes.
Did you hear that, May 4th?
May 4th.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, not 5.
6 o'clock.
That was changed, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, then we'll move on to anything under old
Put it
business.
together then.
Yes.
I'll get it. Oh,
I
no,
don't think we have any of them.
Nothing under old business?
This was old business.
This was the old one.
Correct.
Good.
That's it.
Then under new business, we have the Kreiner Lane culvert replacement. I think we kind of municipal land use letter.
well, we got the packet from Barry Ison, which includes the GP 11, the general permit. We got a copy of it, if you would like to look at it. I didn't make copies of everything.
Is the state doing it?
No, Kreiner Lane is the private lane
Yeah.
going into
Yeah.
Soridge, and the pipes are, from what the project reads, the pipes are rotted out of the
Who's
bottom.
responsible for the pipes?
So it's a private road, so
Yes.
the property owners
Okay,
are doing
That's
it.
okay,
But
that's
instead of putting pipes in, they're putting a
culvert in, okay.
And they need to go to DP, and part of the process for the GP 11 is to get a municipal land use letter from us.
Okay.
And what's our letter supposed to tell them?
Well, basically, they give you a sample, but it's so
Just the way-
unprofessional looking. So
Well, this
I-
is exactly the way it comes. This is a state,
Yeah.
this is a state document. You just print it off.
Print it offline.
So basically, I always put it on our letterhead, and it's basically saying that we have adopted a comprehensive plan, we have our own municipal zoning, our zoning is consistent with the comprehensive plan, and
Okay.
it does ask if the,
If a reference project meets the
Meets your
provisions of
zoning.
local zoning ordinance, I would just put NA.
And
Yeah.
then,
It's not
Right.
applicable.
right.
yeah.
They're not building a
okay.
structure that needs
Right.
setbacks or anything like
Because
that.
I know we had the one other one that you had said, we can't answer zoning.
Yeah.
So that's why I
Yeah.
put this in, but I'll just say, project is not,
Applicable.
Not applicable.
Right.
zoning is not applicable.
Yeah, I just put NA. And what do you have to fill this out?
Well, it,
Yeah, I'd just say that it's not,
I mean, this is what I do, it's just,
Yeah, I
it
would-
basically answers all those questions,
yeah.
because there's no zoning.
Right, exactly.
I-
He say that.
And if you don't send it back within 30 days,
Is,
Yeah,
yeah,
they assume that everything's okay.
correct.
So,
yeah, so we just, now, does this have to go to the board, or can I,
I think we can just do
You
it,
can do
because
it.
it's
You
not
can
happening.
I can just-
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
just put a board to vote
Right,
on it,
right.
because it's not a structure, we can just go with that.
I don't have to refer to zone, so, okay. I'll take care of that.
Excellent.
Okay,
Thank you,
that was short.
excellent.
Anything else under new business?
I don't believe anything has come
Anything
across
else?
the board, no.
Got it?
No,
You okay there, Deanna? Anything you wanna add?
No, I think
Plus
Wednesday
something
nights
fun
are
to
gonna take a lot for me to get used to.
do. Yeah, it is a little different.
Yeah,
Well, let's move it.
we will,
No, we want you here,
as soon
Jim.
as we find out your schedule
Saturday,
changes,
10 a.m.
we'll have
I'm
to.
good, Saturday 10, no, actually, no, I don't like Saturday mornings, because I'm in the office from Saturday
Oh, are you?
mornings. Actually, your Sundays too.
Sunday's
I'm in
better?
the, no, I'm in the office Sunday.
12 o'clock,
No,
when
you
you
can't
have the
book my lunch for
breakfast, that
that.
way the people can support the breakfast and then come to the meeting. I think that would be an excellent
Yeah, but they're
idea.
stopping for the summer, May's the last one,
No,
Oh.
shoots that theory.
Yeah.
till September.
Well, it still will help the community if we do it that way. You know what I mean?
I didn't get to this.
Something to think about.
What
something
time
to
we
dwell
got,
upon.
anybody know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
It
we,
is
motion for adjournment.
8:02.
And Dean made a motion to
Wow.
adjourn, and I second.
Yes, correct. You're absolutely
Oh,
correct.
sorry.
Oh, okay,
Go
you
ahead,
seconded,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, fine.
Okay, good.
What the f-
I was looking through my emails, I thought maybe I missed a copy of the developers agreement that you emailed,
No,
but you didn't start it.
actually, she called me the other day and said, did Bruce tell you to do that? And I said, he may have, I just don't recall if he
Well, I
told me
sent
to or
an
not.
email to start working on it a
Yeah,
long
he did.
time ago, but then I said, did Bruce ever call you?
Yeah.
And then he goes,
No,
he may
I never
have, but
did.
I don't
No, no,
remember.
I
I'm sure it's on my desk somewhere.
No, I didn't.
I will get on it.
the only ones we've been talking about were AutoZone and the school
The
district.
school did, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know I've talked to you on other ones, but I don't remember this.
Is that, are you gonna use the same
Yeah, but
format?
we came
Yes.
up with it, did
Yes.
that. Yes.
Yeah, I've used that in every,
Do you have that Word document?
I don't know. Honestly, I probably do, yes.
Could you send me email me